Over the last 48 hours, many of you have written to me asking about the so-called No Labels Party. And generally the question has been, is this No Labels Party a more genuine and interesting alternative to the Democratic and Republican parties, more interesting maybe than the Forward Party, which launched with very few ideas, I will mention, or is this some kind of enlightened, centrist, no ideas going nowhere, potentially spoiler sort of thing? And the answer is very clearly the latter. Let's talk about the No Labels Party, the No Labels organization. No Labels is a political organization. You could call it a party or not. I don't know. Its mission is to support centrism, okay, and bipartisanship. It was founded as a 501c4 by Nancy Jacobson, who is now its CEO. There are a number of articles about the No Labels Party. The Daily Beast has one called No Labels Launches Controversial 2024 Campaign with No Ideas. And I think that's pretty accurate. It says the well-funded centrist group says it wants to field a presidential candidate who will focus on substance, but its first big event was all style. The New York Times has an article. No Labels eyes a third-party run in 2024. Democrats are alarmed. Democrats are right to be alarmed. And it says the centrist group is gaining steam and raising money in its effort to get a candidate on the 2024 ballot, with Joe Manchin at the top of their list. That's pretty scary stuff. Forbes has a good piece, What to Know About No Labels. Shadowy political group raises alarms over a spoiler 2022 presidential candidate. It mentions Joe Manchin. It mentions former Utah Republican Governor John Huntsman and some others. And then lastly, NBC News has a piece, No Label CEO defends 2024 ticket against spoiler charges, adding No Labels leader Nancy Jacobson said her group won't help Trump win again, but she declined to say how it would decide whether to stand on her own. The most important aspect to this is that there is no interesting centrist platform that I can tell you about that No Labels is standing behind. In fact, somehow I got on the No Labels mailing list, I guess, as a journalist. I've asked to opt out of it a dozen times. I hope that it finally happened. The first 11 times, they just kept bombing me with emails about uninteresting guests offering no ideas that I could interview. I think that there's a very important reality we have to face, which is to some degree, because of the political system we have, we have first past the post voting. We don't have ranked choice or transferable vote or any of these things. There is a practical reality to which it is true when we say, if you vote third party in the presidential election in states where it will be close, you almost certainly will be helping the candidate you really don't like to win. What do I mean by that? In a state that's close, like Wisconsin or Pennsylvania, there's a reality where if you're on the left and you don't want Biden, but you really don't want Trump, and you vote Green Party, for example, you are in a practical sense making it more likely Trump wins, because if it weren't for the Green Party, you would probably vote for Joe Biden. Now, some people will say, David, that's not true. If it weren't for the Green Party, I might stay home, even though I really don't like Trump and I just don't like Joe Biden. Okay, maybe it doesn't apply to you, but in general, there is this spoiler reality. But that doesn't mean I don't want strong third party circumstances in the U.S. It doesn't mean I don't want change. It doesn't mean I don't want to break the two-party duopoly. However, I recognize that especially, we're doing it again, folks, the next president will likely get 1 or 2 Supreme Court picks at minimum. We can't have Trump or DeSantis as president. So in general, I am disinclined to take a chance on a third-party candidate this particular cycle for presidential. Local, absolutely. State, absolutely, 100%. Because the risk to the country and the world, if Trump or DeSantis are president, is serious. In addition to that, there's nobody who's super interesting. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., not super interesting to me. Cornel West, not super interesting to me. Certainly nobody on the right. So then we get to no labels. No labels not only plays the mathematical role of a potential spoiler helping Trump win. I don't want to vote for Joe Manchin. I don't want to vote for Huntsman. And the problem right now with centrism is that if your solution is to say, hey, you know what? There's people on the left and there's people on the right. There's people on the far left and people on the far right. I am above the fray because I'm going to pick a point between these two extremes. The right has become so extreme in this country that picking that middle point is very right wing. Case in point, if the middle is Manchin, that is very right wing. If the middle is Huntsman, he's a lifelong Republican, that is also very right wing. So when someone brings you the solution to partisanship and they say the solution to partisanship is, okay, you want safe legal abortions in most cases, bodily autonomy, not white old dudes deciding what medical services you can get on one side. And on the other side, it's jail anyone who gets an abortion or provides one. Let's pick the middle. That's a nutty way to go. And that's the problem with many of these self-professed centrists. So is no labels interesting specifically? No. Are third parties interesting in general? Absolutely. Is no labels likely to play spoiler if it gets off the ground? 100%. And do I want to support Manchin or Huntsman over Joe Biden, given the economy we have, student loan forgiveness, all these different things Joe Biden has done right? No, of course not. So be very, very careful about falling for no labels. Did you know that anyone in the world can very easily access a ton of data about you online? Data brokers collect huge amounts of data about everything you do on your phone, your computer, where you go, what you look at. But we recently learned that government agencies like the FBI have also been buying a ton of this data from data brokers just to keep track of people without needing a court order. Criminals can also use the information to target you. Ad companies and political consultants can buy it and try to influence you, but you can stop it. Our sponsor, Incogni, is an affordable service that specializes in getting your data removed from these sites. Incogni will send data removal requests to the major data brokers. They are required by law to remove it upon request. If your information stays online, Incogni will just follow up with them about removing it. It's that simple. And you will be kept updated every step of the way so you know what's going on. What Incogni can accomplish is amazing. I use it myself, and my audience gets 60% off. Go to incogni.com/Pacman and use the code Pacman. The link is down below.